And we are back. We are back. Right where we left off, looking at a C-class flare on the Space Weather Enthusiast dashboard. We are undeterred. All right, there's that C-class flare. Let's move on, as we've had to do a second live stream as a result of technical difficulties. So thanks for coming back. Here's a gong too. And we're going to continue to see perturbations in this because of this rising sunspot, which is going to be known as sunspot 2739, as sunspots lose their names when they stop facing the Earth. Keep in mind this data is 1 hour and 21 minutes old. Here's Alaska C2. This is located at the SOHO spacecraft in between Earth and Sun. And you're going to see a flare coming off like this. At the end of the day yesterday, here it comes, there it goes. There's the big flare. That's a C-class X-ray flare causing another coronal mass ejection. Let's move on. Here's the location of your planets. And we are doing this a second time, folks. So here's stereo A, here's stereo B. Let's advance this 1 week. There's the locations in 1 week. Now let's move on to stereo A. Here's a coronagraph out there, and you're going to see that solar flare associated with this coronal mass ejection, probably going to miss stereo A to the north, and it's going to kind of go between the Earth and stereo A, according to the way this looks to me. So there's that situation, and let's move on because we are running extra late now, and that's not going to stop us from doing the space weather. Thanks for coming back, Mary Wright. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Anyway, there's a total electron content, which is very low. Expect very low amounts of GPS errors, even if you are on the equator today. Next, we're going to look at the magnetosphere movies as we do every day about this time. And we will let it play through on the velocity. And we are experiencing the same difficulties as last time, folks. Is the live stream shutting down? I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is. We're going to shut down the music first. And we're going to shut down Epic Pen too, in hopes that this video will continue to exist. Let's look at density. As we are having breakdown after breakdown here. And I need a beverage. So while this plays, I'm going to grab one. And yes, there is a mini fridge right next to my computer. Keep in mind, low density is white, high density is blue on this. Here's the pressure. And we see similar to what we saw on the F2 ionosphere layer, where we see greater pressure in the magnetotail than on the bow shock. And we see some perturbations. And there they are. I'm going to behave as a content creator who has patience. Next, we'll look at the ground perturbations. First at the poles, and we see significant ground perturbations as we see the South Pole migrating toward Western Australia. For all of you pole flip, pole shift enthusiasts out there, polar excursion, magnetic reversal, whatever you'd like to call it. there's the data. And we apologize for the no music. Not exactly sure why we're low on memory, but it could be because we have about 90 tabs open. Here's the magnetic perturbations over the globe, and we see them stretching across the oceans here, as we do on a regular basis, over Hawaii, over the Indian Ocean. And the main perturbations in the North Poles are associated with the Canadian one, not the Siberian one. We're going to skip cosmic rays. We're going to skip zooniverse.org, although you should check out this. Actually, I'm going to have to classify that one. That's a very, very strange galaxy. Features, not an edge on disk, strong bar, no sign of a spiral arm pattern, but extreme lensing, a moderate bulge, not disturbed or merging that I can tell, but an obvious ring, an obvious lens or arc. Very odd galaxy there, very odd galaxy. I'm going to say something else. Zooniverse.org, the largest citizen science project in the world, needs humans to classify galaxies. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/smAsho. Also on Twitter for your peeps that don't have other social media and only use Twitter. Share our videos there. Also check us out on Instagram. Here's yesterday's shenanigans. What's that song called by CNC Music Factory? Things that make you go, Don't worry, folks. It's just industrial waste. And let's move on to minds.com/smAsho, another spot where you can view our content as well as create an account and not get shadow banned. You won't be censored, banned, etc. You'll get all your views. You can even earn crypto. Check out the original music at SoundCloud. There are links in the description, as well as soundclick.com/goldencatproductions. And since it'll use less memory here, let's play Lost Luggage. And what happened? Oh, there we go. Here we go. It's also available for purchase for 99 cents. And it isn't working. Nothing's working. I must have turned it down. All right. Well, that's just unacceptable, folks. Unacceptable. Here's the track. It's literally about losing your luggage at the airport, folks. All right, let's move on here to earthquakes. We're going to blast through this as quickly as possible. You see a 4.3 at Guatemala, 4.0 at Alaska, 4.1 at Alaska, 4.7 in Indonesia, 4.7 at Macquarie Island, very far south near Antarctica, 4.7 at El Salvador, 5.1 at the Philippines, a 4.7 at the Philippines, and a 4.6 at the Philippines as the earthquake risk there continues. 5.5 in the East Pacific Rise, 5.7 at the Philippines, 4.7 at Japan, 4.3 at Chile at depth, 4.2 at Alaska, 5.0 at the South Pacific Rise, 4.6 in Afghanistan, a 4.6 at the Carlsberg Ridge, and let's move on. Here are your pressure maps. We're not going to stay on this either because there's a lot of stuff to do today. And this is wasting my time. All right. Volcanoes, Shivaluch, 2,000-foot plume there. Oh, 20,000-foot plume there. My mistake. Sakurajima with an 8,000-foot plume. Tokono, Revenador, Sabancaya with a 27,000-foot plume. And don't play hopscotch on top of Planchon Petaroa. It's probably still erupting. However, the satellite is unable to detect. Here's some nasty storms hitting Texas and Louisiana. Here's a U.S. Doppler. Here's a lightning map at lightningmaps.org. If you're not familiar with it, check it out. Heads up Baton Rouge and Lafayette and folks getting hit by lightning. Nolans, you're in the crosshairs, Nolans. Break out lightningmaps.org the next time you're in a thunderstorm. It could save your ass. Here's a water vapor map of what's going on above your head. Keep in mind the water vapor map shows you water that is not condensed onto clouds. There's nowhere to hide from this satellite. And let's continue on. Here is the National Weather Service weather.gov site. There are your warnings. We see a bunch of fog warnings and a bunch of floods. Global warming update. Greenland is still frozen with more than 5 meters of snow from coast to coast. God, Wendy, I don't know why you take over the screen like that. Here's a great article. Founder execs of drug company guilty in conspiracy that fed opioid crisis. We're not leaving any links. This article from Reuters is talking about this idiot here who is bribing doctors to prescribe fentanyl spray, the kind of stuff that kills people. For that conviction, we thank you. This idiot, probably his attorney, is going to appeal the decision. Jakarta is sinking into the swamp. If you weren't aware, Jakarta is built on a swamp, and the government is looking for a new place to build some stuff. So check it out at zerohedge.com. Here's another article on zerohedge.com. Mississippi River breaks 1993 flood record. So horrible floods going on across the central U.S. Here's the article about it. Check it out at zerohedge.com. We will not be leaving links in the description. Let's also look at U.S. stock markets to see if all the crop losses and all the damage and all the stupid stimulus bills that Trump endorsed for $2 trillion are affecting the market. First, let's look at the S&P 500. Here's a one-year chart on that. And you think it's priced into that, folks? You think it's priced into that? We're not trying to crash the stock market on this channel. However, we're trying to inform our viewers of what's going to happen to food prices. Here's the NASDAQ 1 year. You think the crop losses are priced into that? Who's going to sell their Google stock when food prices rise? Here's the Dow Jones. You think all those crop losses are figured into that? All those late plantings 2 years in a row and early winters all across the entire Northern Hemisphere? Not figured in, folks. Not figured in. Let's take another quick look at commodities. Now, first of all, silver is now below 15 bucks. And in the last financial crisis, it was at 50 bucks. This channel called the most recent low at $14 an ounce. Let's look at some agriculture futures. How about wheat? You think all the crop losses are figured into U.S. wheat prices, folks? There's that. Here's the rest of the data. It's been well over $1,250 per bushel. How about corn futures? Again, we're not trying to crash the market, folks. We're just trying to inform you of the way things really work. Let's look at oil here just as another bonus. And there are oil prices. Keep in mind, back in 2008, oil prices were over $125 a barrel. The high there around $140 a barrel. So when food prices go up, folks, everything goes up. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Diversify. A parody website with embarrassing photos of Joe Biden is outranking his official campaign page on Google. So just like Google supported Hillary Clinton, Google is supporting Joe Biden. Yes, Eric Schmidt, the creepiest man in business, is doing it again. trying to pump up Joe Biden and get him elected the same way Eric Schmidt tried to get Hillary Clinton elected. If you weren't aware of it, read up. It's true. And if you're still using Google as a verb, your search results have been shadow banned since 2010. Eric Schmidt admitted it to Business Insider in 2011. Deal with it. Here's an email Tesla sent to employees telling them to stop leaking info. And that's the last article of the day, as we have more stuff to do than this. So let's look at the final little bit of data here. 10 hours and 15 minutes of the sun in 94 angstroms. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Pardon the technical difficulties. I believe we're going to see a fairly normal solar cycle. So I don't say the word grand solar minimum. I say solar minimum because we have to watch the upcoming cycle before we have any clue as to how minimum the minimum is going to be. Everybody is seeing late springs on both hemispheres, Mr. Rader. So thank you for the anecdotal report there. Mary, I agree. I think what we're going to see is another fairly normal cycle here. Cycle 25 might even be a little stronger than cycle 24. We have to watch the North Pole solar field, the North Polar solar field there, because that's kind of the missing variable here in solar activity prediction. So we are out of here. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Remember, when you're staring at the sun, don't drink. And if you drink, stare at the sun anyway. Just don't drive. And may the solar wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your veins.